Okay, welcome to our March 19th council meeting. Once again, we may have found the problem with the microphones, but if you would, if you're going to speak, turn your microphone on, speak into the microphone. If you come to the podium to speak, there's a microphone at the podium. Turn the microphone on, speak into the microphone so everybody at home can hear you. With that, councilors, I would get a roll call.
Councilor Savage,
Here.
West,
Here.
Halter,
Here.
Windorf,
Here.
Tate,
Here.
Demus,
Here.
Zadi,
Here.
Savage, or Shalata, sorry,
Still here.
Still here.
Here.
Mayor Como.
Here. Councilors, first order of business, I'd entertain a motion to approve the revised agenda you have before you here tonight.
So moved, Your Honor.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Record show no opposed. And councilors, the approval of the minutes from the city council retreat minutes, February 15th, 2019. City council special meeting minutes of February 26th, March 6th, and March 7th, 2019. And city council meeting minutes of March 5th, 2019. What's your pleasure? Councilman Shalata. We do have a motion to approve these minutes. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Let the record show no opposed. Councilors, the next portion into our agenda is the appointment section. On 3/5/19, we tabled the Abandoned Mine Land Committee. After speaking with Mr. Kalsich and myself, this committee realistically doesn't exist and had only two members no longer here. I would recommend, Mr. President, to submit to you the name of James King to serve as a liaison to abandoned mine lands as it relates to city engineering.
Council, you have before you the name of James King, stepped up to be a liaison on abandoned mine lands subject. How do you feel about that?
Mr. President? we
Mr.
need
West?
to Table first?
Oh,
So moved.
second. Voice vote or,
No.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Now, council, we have before you the name of James King. Be a liaison, first term, for the abandoned land mines, abandoned mine lands.
Mr. President.
Mr. Halter. Okay, we have a first, we have,
Second.
okay, thank you. Roll call?
Councilor West,
Yes.
Halter,
Yes.
Windorf,
Yes.
Tate,
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Zadi, Shalata,
Yes.
Savage.
Yes. Mayor, you have your appointment.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council. This is going to bring us into the presentations and proclamations section of our agenda. And we have with us here tonight from Sweetwater County Joint Travel and Tourism, the annual report, Janissa Meredith. It's all yours. Gonna work?
Hello, can you hear me? Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Janissa Meredith, and I'm the Executive Director of Sweetwater County Travel and Tourism. Thank you for allowing me some time tonight to share with you our 2018 annual report of how the lodging tax was spent. In the red bag that I gave you, you should have this report inside of there. As you know, the Lodging Tax Board is made up of 11 volunteer board members. The City of Rock Springs appoints 6 of those board members. 2 come from Green River, 1 from Wamsutter, 1 from Superior, and 1 from the county commissioners. Also, in 2018, the lodging tax increased from 3% to 4% in the election. Every 4 years, the local voters are asked to reauthorize the local option lodging tax, and it's every hotel and campground in the county collects it from there forward. You can see there on page 3 how the lodging tax was spent in 2018. By state statute, the local option lodging tax has to be used for marketing purposes that will generate hotel and campground visitation. It can't be used for bricks and mortar or any other projects like that. It has to be used for promotional purposes. So 68% of the lodging tax was used for an out-of-county marketing plan in 2018. 11% was used for event grants. 6% went to the chambers as block grants. 5% went to the events complex as a block grant. And then 10% was administration. You can see there the lodging tax collection chart. In fiscal year 2017-18, it collected almost $890,000. And right now, year to date, we're up about 5% from that. The lodging tax funds over 40 local events. So any local event that will generate hotel and campground occupancy qualifies for lodging tax funding, either as advertising dollars or sponsorship dollars to events that generate visitation without the need for advertising, like culminating events and conferences and so on. We've also spent a lot of time working to recruit events to the area, state high school sporting events. We've also focused on the international market in recent years. Recently I went to what's called the International Roundup and met with 48 different tour operators from other countries. They build out and sell tours to the United States. So what we want is Rock Springs and Green River to be a part of those tours, and that's what I meet with those folks about. I also either host or serve on a number of committees in the county, and in 2015 we created the beautification committees for both Rock Springs and Green River. Those committees, we have worked with both cities to build the gateway signs and do some landscaping around those signs. We've also partnered with Downtown Rock Springs to help them with their city art brochure recently. This past summer, we were able to generate some exposure for the National High School Finals Rodeo by partnering with KUTV News out of Salt Lake City. They did 5 different segments on Rock Springs and the high school rodeo and had a lot of social media coverage for it as well. I'll try and play this for you and see how this works. Or not. Okay. We'll just imagine what it looked like. They had, the newscasters were featuring Caitlin Hansen, who is their road tripping host. And so she was on the property at the Sweetwater Events Complex interviewing different folks associated with the rodeo. And it was featured on their website and live on television as well. I think it's still trying. We also continue to host what's called the REACH Awards. It stands for Rare and Exceptional Achievement for Customer Service and Hospitality. That's just recognizing the frontline staff and the hotels that are excelling at customer service, because we spend a great deal of money marketing to folks to get them to come to the area to visit. And if they have a bad experience on the front line, it really is a fail for all of us. So we really encourage folks who are doing a great job at customer service. Also in 2018, I hosted what was called the Proud Wyoming Woman Retreat. This was an event in recognition of what was the upcoming anniversary, 150th anniversary of Wyoming women's suffrage. So women in Wyoming were given the right to vote 50 years before any other women in the country, before the 19th Amendment. So I wanted to create a retreat that reflected the pride that originated during the time of women's suffrage that lives on today. So that was held in June 2018. This coming retreat will be held September of this year. And we have included a couple of additional components. Originally in 2018, we had a fly fishing component and a health and wellness component and an art component. This year, we are adding trap shooting and Dutch oven cooking, as well as a downtown Rock Springs art sampling stroll that will have as part of this as well. We're anticipating about 300 women will be here in September from around the state to attend this retreat. We had 110 last year. And this retreat also generated some really great coverage. The New York Times included it In their 52 places to see in 2019, Wyoming was number 40 on that list of 52, and the women's retreat was listed within that content. That was huge, huge for us. There's a video for this as well, but I guess it's not going to. No dice.
Trying to get through them firewalls of the city.
Just imagine. On our website, proudwyomingwoman.com, you can see the video. It won't let me progress. But overall, the next page in your physical document that you have there is our overall out-of-county marketing campaign. So every spring, it's restarting now. Okay, so just ignore that. Every spring, we deploy a marketing campaign, a very large marketing campaign. 68% of the lodging tax is spent on that marketing campaign to generate summer visitation. So we deploy the marketing campaign in the spring. A summer visitation happens. In your report there, you can see some of the print advertisements and digital advertisements that we place, some of the billboards as well, in all of our marketing efforts. And then there on page 10, it goes into detail about how we measure those marketing dollars. So for the past 11 years, we have conducted the same conversion study to measure the effectiveness of our advertising. So when we deploy that advertising in the spring, people see the advertisement, they request a travel guide, and then in the fall, following the season that we tried to promote and get them to come visit, we have a company randomly sample that database. So the database is everybody who requested a travel guide after seeing an advertisement in the spring. We had over 54,000 people request a travel guide based on seeing an advertisement that we had placed. We fulfill those either physically or digitally. So then in the fall, we have a company called Strategic Marketing and Research Incorporated. They randomly sample that database of 54,000 people. They conducted 500 surveys. So of the 500 surveys, we know that 24% of the people who requested a travel guide from us actually visited. They converted to be a traveler to Sweetwater County. The average party size was 2.6 people, and the average stay in Sweetwater County on that trip was 3.7 days. So we know we're part of that overall Wyoming road trip, but for every $1 that we spent to market to them in the spring, we had a return on investment of $59 to the local economy. So just that advertising campaign that we deployed in the spring generated $9.5 million to the local economy. Those are folks that were surveyed and said what they spent money on and have a breakdown of where all they spent their money in the county. But it was a $9.5 million economic impact just on that one campaign. And we know that over half of them are on their way to the national parks of Wyoming. So we try to affiliate our advertising with those efforts as well. Then there on page 11, you can see the State Office of Tourism. They conduct about $250,000 worth of research every year. And so that's not just based on one advertising campaign, that's all travel spending in Sweetwater County. So the most current data that we have from them is from 2017. And that indicated that $157.1 million was spent in Sweetwater County by visitors to our area. And that supports almost 1,500 jobs locally. So obviously tourism is a huge part of our local economy. And as always, I'm super proud to be a part of it. One other thing I'll mention before I'm done, part of increasing the local option lodging tax from 3 to 4% was with the intention of adding a Flaming Gorge tour. That's what I'm currently trying to build. We're going to be renting buses and hiring tour guides and doing tours around Gorge Memorial Day to Labor Day. It's something I think that's deeply needed, and I think it'll be really utilized as well. So that is in the works, and hopefully I'll be able to report on that further in the near future. So unless there are questions, that's all I have.
Counselors? Well, Janissa, that is some impressive numbers, and these numbers are just those that you've captured to do the survey. I mean, this is pretty conservative, I'd say. Shows you how important tourism is to Sweetwater County. These are real numbers, and I commend you and your board. Great job.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work, and if we can be there to help, we will be there.
Thank you very much.
Great job. Looks great, and if I can help for the Flaming Gorge thing, as long as I can fish, I'm there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Janessa. Number 2 under presentations and proclamations, Suicide Bereavement Group, Jim Warren. Gonna work?
Think so. Sound right?
Yeah.
Mayor Como, Council. Thank you. I'm Jim Hall, President. This is Council also. Now, I wanted to present a program initiative. The church I belong to, Adventist Church, second. In this regard, probably about state having an emphasis. We really didn't want to duplicate done effectively. So with the help of Honda Crowder and Southwest Council, it became apparent that support group lost loved ones was something that would be helpful. It wasn't. And so the church supported. They supported financially. They supported under their umbrella and insurance. But that influence, it's very support group people. And person and other first Monday brochure. Sorry.
Please do.
These brochures speak a little more about the. These brochures are in various places throughout the country. Really been wonderful. Southwest, very instrumental in supporting this. But police, both communities, they're at the library. They have posters, rec centers, several churches, funeral homes. The Rocket Miner. You know, the reason for this is that people who have lost a loved one, the unique, it isn't that you've lost a loved one in other than, they didn't die from an or even and so the grief of very common. And I'd like to hear from long if you'd like, but I would like to read it out loud. It says, survivors of suicide loss may feel isolated because of the stigma. They may feel shunned and hurt by insensitive. Survivors of suicide loss experience a unique grief, a grief that's often prolonged and complicated due to the shock and the sometimes violent circumstances. This suicide bereavement support group supports people who've lost. Our goal is to be a place where survivors can be comfortable in expressing themselves, a place to find support, comfort, resources, and hope in a judgment-free. So it's just been started, and it's there to help people, and if they don't know about it, how can it help them? So that's why we're here presenting it to you. You know, Megan.
Hi. As I said, my name's Danny. I'm a prevention specialist at South. Personally, I've been affected by suicide directly. And so it was really, and speaking of, I've lost my, so just now, I lost. But
Thank you.
You notice in the brochure it says that Wyoming ranks among the top 4 states. We kind of shift. Imagine how to very dubious. And the interest, bad, cost, higher risk. Hard, usual. So, thank you. If any of you, we have posters. I'm glad to give you. Again, like Yolanda Crowder, who's important to have a licensed clinical social facilitator. Never know.
We appreciate that. And we see Laura Hayden in the back. She's been with us for a long time. We appreciate the work that you folks do in a great need. I'm wondering if the possibility you could leave some brochures with us and we could also place them in the lobby and kiosk. Just leave them right with Kristen at the end of the table, and I'll get them. Counselors, did you have questions? Great work. Appreciate that, and definitely a great need. That's a ranking that we don't want to be on the top 50 with, and we're hovering right at the top. Item number 3 under presentations and proclamations, we have banning animal control gas chamber. Madhu Anderson, who I believe has a presentation. your passion for this, and I believe you're preaching to the choir. And as you can tell, later in our ordinance 2019-08 from our last meeting is going to address some issues with abandoning animals. I believe we're all animal lovers up here, and I believe everyone understands what the message you're trying to send. I would still say 98% of the problems we have with animals are irresponsible pet owners that abandon animals and end up in our shelter. And that's a big concern for us. Counselors, do you have any questions? Councilman Zadi?
For animals, are all the animals pasture?
So, I don't know which ones we use the gas chamber on. I know we use them for squirrels, feral cats. We're almost shelter dogs. Also, very, very.
And that's what I was kind of getting at. There is food protection. Talk about safety of staff. Protection. That's also a concern. So, unfortunately, I've had to put down so much. Not fun. But we're talking about that's someone that can calm them. Dealing with feral cats. Putting cat at further. Trying to hold down an not an employee, not an potential tax, held down, potential protection, health. So there's safety issues both sides. Best happen well. Best. I correct. Best.
Your Honor and Councilor Zadi, absolutely. The other thing I might add when it comes to our spay neuter, we do have a policy. All of our animals opt out our spay neuter, so we're there on that.
Thanks, Councilman Zadi. Go ahead, Madhu. Yes, we had that discussion. We had that from the last meeting, and we're having those discussions. It would be nice not to have, no offense, Mr. Kiggins, if you're watching, if you're not here, but not to have animal control, period. If in the most perfect world, we wouldn't have to deal with this, because it's stressful for the volunteers and the staff as well. No one likes to put down an animal, and surely it has an effect on each and every one of them. I appreciate your input, and like I said, your message is well sent, and hopefully we can work in the right direction. Thank you. I do. Okay, counselors, next on our agenda, we have the public hearing section, of which item number 1 is the public hearing on an application for a new restaurant liquor license from Joshua Grant, doing business as Eves, located at the White Mountain Golf Course Clubhouse, 1501 Clubhouse Drive, Rock Springs, of which we'll take action under new business item number 1. Is there anyone here tonight wishing to speak on this issue? Hearing none. Item number 2 from the Housing Authority is a public hearing to discuss the Rock Springs Housing Authority annual plan, of which we'll act under Resolution 2019-29. Is there anyone wishing to speak on this issue? And item number 3, again from the Housing Authority, a public hearing to discuss the proposed changes to the Rock Springs Housing Authority admissions and continued occupancy policy, of which we'll take action under Resolution 2019-30. Is there anyone else here tonight wishing to speak on this issue? Hearing none, this is going to take us into the petitions section of our agenda, and I would like to introduce Chris Kundal and represent the Rock Springs Junior High and a few students that she has with her wishing to address the council. Chris?
And the councilman. My name is Chris Kundal, and I'm the proud principal of Rock Springs Junior High, and I'm here tonight to speak in support of the ordinance prohibiting electronic underage cigarettes and vaping. I have to tell you that at the junior high, I would say vaping and cell phones are the two biggest distractions that we have, and I don't think the council probably wants to do anything about cell phones. But I would ask that you look at doing something about vaping with our students. Just to give you an idea what it looks like at the school, if I were a tobacco user and I did vape, I would have vaped 3 times while I've stood here and talked to you so far, just to give you an idea what it looks like from the teacher perspective. So this is the thing of choice of junior high and high school students, and this is a Juul. And I don't know if you're all familiar with these, but this is the size of the things that the kids use. You can see on the bottom that it's rechargeable. So really, it's just a little bit longer than a USB port, but this is what the kids are using. And it comes apart, and this is what contains the vape juice. And sometimes the vape juice has nicotine. It doesn't always have nicotine. It comes in wild, crazy bubblegum flavor or whatever. And that's what is really enticing the students to use these. And I think you can see why it would be a problem at a school. So I brought with me tonight some of the brightest future stars of Rock Springs. There are several members of the Rock Springs Junior High Student Council here, and a couple of them would like to speak to you with your permission.
Please do.
Hello, my name is Mia Spicer, and I'm an 8th grader at Rock Springs Junior High. Students my age should not be able to get nicotine pods for many reasons. Firstly, most kids at my age are naive and don't listen to the warnings and health risks that are associated with vaping pods that contain nicotine. Lung diseases such as popcorn lung and lung cancer can occur at a very young age. One of the reasons that doctors are seeing cases of these diseases occurring in young people is due to the popularity of vaping in teenagers and young people. In addition to these diseases, vaping nicotine pods causes a nicotine addiction that could result in a lifelong problem. Nicotine addictions are hard to break. These are just a few of the obvious reasons why students should not be able to get a hold of these items at such a young age. Our school has undergone many searches, and most searches do not end up clean. Not very long ago, the FDA proposed regulations due to statistics of teen vaping skyrocketing, setting records for our generation. This has become a problem, and I do not want to see any of my peers causing damage to themselves or others. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Emily Garner, and I'm with the Rock Springs Junior High. I'm a 7th grader and I'm against vaping. According to the CDC, 38% of high schoolers and 13% of middle schoolers have tried vaping. Until this year, I had no idea kids were vaping. There had been multiple drug dog checks this year, and not once was Rock Springs Junior High found clean of vape pods or paraphernalia. I support Rock Springs Junior High's mission to make it harder for kids to get vapes and to make the consequences more severe. Not only is there going to be consequences in school, it will have a lifetime effect on students who use vapes long term. These include inflammation of the mouth, gum disease, cancer, heart disease, and breast cancer, and other respiratory issues. But kids aren't worried about the long-term effects. The main issue with kids is vaping is a gateway to smoking in their adult years, and smoking is a gateway drug that can lead to harsher drugs in the long run. We have all heard of a drug dealer, right? What about the vape dealer? The legal age to buy a vape pen is 18 in the U.S. That means that 18 years and older are buying Juuls, and kids who have been shown vaping want to buy. I have also seen fellow classmates vape on social media. I have heard about getting caught in the bathroom vaping. Kids don't know what is good for their bodies. All they want to is to look cool. I want to help make Rock Springs Junior High a vape clean community. It wouldn't be hard just to educate kids more on vaping. Even though our counselors and health teachers are doing an amazing job with education, I feel we could use more time on the issue than just a week or two. I am in support of increasing the punishment for vaping to be more severe than they are now. This is one of the best ways for kids to stop vaping. Thank you for your time.
Thank you both, and let's give them a round of applause. Good leaders. Well done. We appreciate your role modelism, and hopefully people will follow that. Don't be a follower, be a leader. Thank you so much for that.
So are there any questions for me?
Council?
Your Honor?
Councilwoman Wendorf?
Yes, currently, what are the consequences for a junior high student who gets caught vaping in school or on the property?
Okay, so the school consequence, usually we start out with 3 days of out-of-school suspension. And then if the student is out for any extracurricular activities, we do require, if so it's 60-day suspension from activities. They can take a mediation class that currently our counselors teach about the dangers of addiction and things like that, which then reduces their suspension to 2 events. And then I believe Corporal Hall is going to talk, and he can tell you, because the students, they get the school consequence, and then they get a ticket too.
Thank you. I was going to say, I got in trouble for chewing gum.
Any other questions for me?
Councilman
I
Zadi?
guess more comment. It amazes my daughter's son. It amazes is the amount of vape Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
I see videos examine that. My daughter's. When I was in junior high, they're doing it in school. I mean, and it's almost talking politics. School, there's calls, number of friends, daughters, right in. Yeah. Just so it is important to educate. Talk number of issues. That's so many.
I'm just amazed thinking back in the day, and it maybe show how old we are, pulling out a cell phone or a vape in front of Sister Brenda at Catholic school. You'd have got whacked right upside the head with a ruler and then had to deal with your parents when you got home. But
Well, we don't whack anymore, but.
I hear that.
So I'm gonna, I'll pass this around so you can just see.
Yeah, I've seen those big clunky things when you're driving down.
Right,
the
and
road
this doesn't
people
put
are
off the
doing
big
that
puff
thing,
of
but-
smoke like that either. But I think Mr. Heiser from the high school has some samples too from the high school.
Mr. Council. Good evening. I have Mr. Heiser with me. He's the also have Nicole Rubley. She's the school resource officer. I am currently assigned address ordinance amending Article 3.2 public morals and decencies. This ordinance was last amended in 1963, 8 years ago. So as you can see, times are changing with these devices that we're running into all the time. I brought with me some numbers. The year of 2018 from January 1 to December 31st, Rock Springs Junior High School had 15 total violations of the tobacco policy. I believe all of them included vaping. I don't believe that there was called cigarettes. The ordinance from 1963 adequately addresses, but the current changes will address that further. So the current penalties in Rock Springs Municipal Court is $30. Circuit Court is $65 with the option to do work restitution either. The difference is with municipal court, it's a supervised work restitution, whereas circuit court, they do the work restitution and then they provide a notarized letter that they completed. Kind of a type of deal. At the Rock Springs High School, there was a total of 58 from January 1 of 18 through December 31st of 18. 15 of those were handled through municipal court. E-cigarette usage has grown dramatically in the last 5 years. Today, more high school students use e-cigarettes than regular cigarettes. The use of e-cigarettes is higher among high school students than adults. The most common used form of tobacco among middle school and high school students is cigarettes. If you look around the community, you can see the popularity. You guys have Googled how many vape shops there are in Rock Springs. There's, from my estimation, vape shops in Rock Springs. So popularity is there, and the vast majority of it is with our youth under 18 acquiring these products. So a lot of these products are marketed to contain 0% nicotine. They've shown that they still contain minor amounts of nicotine, even if they say they're nicotine free. These products come in over 7,000 different flavors. So they're making it to emit a pleasant odor that's pretty hard to detect, to be honest with you. So they're making them more smaller, easier to conceal. They can palm these things in their hand, and you would never know that they had it in their possession. The other concern is with Colorado and the ever-present marijuana things that are going on. THC oils and waxes can be consumed in some of these vapes and mods, so which is kind of difficult to detect. Mr. Heiser and Officer Rubley have had this several times this year with students using THC within the vape device. So this will just provide another layer of intervention as far as the municipal court, provide a clear definition of what an e-cigarette is, a vape, and why it should not possess device.
Councilors, questions?
Your Honor,
Councilman West?
you said at the high school there was 58 cases. 15 of those were handled in municipal court. About the remaining.
The remaining were handled in circuit court.
And of those fines, I think that were 165. Is that the maximum amount? Is that the actual?
That's according to the bonds.
Do you think this proposed ordinance change, maximum not to exceed 750, be more heavily followed?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It should fit what a misdemeanor crime is, up to $750 in fines. I would.
Councilman Halter? Any other questions? Councilman Savage?
How are our students product?
So there's a variety of ways. Of course, we do compliance checks. Have a police officer go in with their age first and try to buy tobacco products. To be honest, we have minimal failures with that, but the way that we have to do it to prove it in court makes it a little bit more obvious that's. So, from what I'm hearing from students, their peers, that a lot of these stores are selling under. They show up alone, obviously.
I'd imagine you purchase them online.
You can.
How do you control that?
So they can purchase them online. They just have to check a box. They are older. That is a problem.
Hi, I'm William Heiser, and I'm one of the assistant principals at Rock Springs High School. And I just want to reiterate, some of the things that Chris Kundal spoke. And I am in support of this. In fact, all the administrators, and I bet all the teachers at the high school are in support of this. And one of the things that I see, because I handle a lot of the discipline, and when I talk to students, nicotine, it's I just brought a bottle of vape juice, and and this was taken out of a bag of one of our students, and so nicotine, we all know it's addicting, and so kids are leaving class more and more to take it, so they're missing instruction. And so one of the things that we've instructed the teachers, if you have a kid who's always wanting to leave class, let us know. And because a lot of times they're leaving and they're getting, you see how small they are, and so they're getting very creative with how they're feeling. Just the other day, there was a student who had a hair tie on, and they would just reach down during, and so we've alerted our teachers, if you see a student doing this motion and they're not coughing.
Correct me if I'm wrong. From what I've seen, because I was just behind a guy at an intersection the other day, I swear his car was on fire. The amount of smoke coming out of these, or whatever, is it smoke?
Yeah, well, vape. So it's
whatever it is horrendous. So how could they hide such a thing? I mean, the unit's small, but...
Yeah, so if you take a small hit and you hold it in your mouth, there's very little vape that comes out if you use a Juul. Now, if you mentioned earlier some of these larger mods, we're actually not seeing as many of these larger mods this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
The vast majority are these, and so this year alone, I know Officer Hall gave some statistics through December of 2018, but if I looked on our our tracking system, we've had just about 80 students suspended for tobacco violations this year, which is up quite a bit from last year. We've last year I want to say it's in the mid 60s, and we've already surpassed that this year. And I know that we're not going to be able to prevent everything, but I think this ordinance is definitely going to. And that's what I'm all about is the help, and especially at the junior high and high school, and these jewels are even in the the fifth. So, and yeah, with the juice, it's not all of it has nicotine, but it's almost like a gateway. All these non-nicotine juices are a gateway to the actual nicotine. It's also a gateway. Just a couple weeks ago, we had some students vaping in the bathroom, and they were vaping with vape juice that contained THC, and so it's a school safety issue. So any support that this Sidney Ordinance can give the school district.
Councilman Zadi.
At the high school level, it's harder to tell in the morning time else, but is there anything the school's doing to talk to the parents a little more, what to look for? Those look like flash.
Yeah.
And so what do you look for? What are the actions?
And so,
Signs.
yep. So we've like last year, I know we sent out School Way, and we actually notification, and we attached an image of a vape, and we took it apart because this is this looks like a small jump drive, but it's a charger that you actually plug into your computer and you can charge your vape. In fact, last year we only confiscated a couple of these, and so just from this time last year to today, the use of these have gone up, several thousands of percents, because this is all we see really. We don't see, usually the big mods are left in the vehicles, but you can plug this into the computer and actually charge it. And so last year there were a couple of students who were caught doing that, but as far as parent education, it's just, the School Way app, and with the image of, what to look for. And we at the beginning of the year, the end of last year and the beginning of this year, we trained our staff on what. But it's amazing when because sometimes parents buy these for their students, and it's crazy. And when sometimes the parent will come in and they're not upset that they were actually vaping, but they were upset that they were vaping at school because they vape at home. And I tell the parent, well, don't you understand that they're addicted to it? So it's like they're not just going to crave it at home; they're going to crave it all day long. So
What by chance does one of those? Did you say it's a jewel?
It's a jewel.
Cost wise?
20 to $40. There's a variety of jewels and makers in here, and some of these mods. I had a parent come in a guardian come in and pick up a couple pods or mods because one was $280, another one was $160. So now and we have students selling them at school, and they're getting very creative. We had a student who would piece out, separate the jewel into 3 pieces, and you had to buy each piece separately. And somebody who was upset about it turned them in. So there's all these, and it's a huge interference with the educational system when you have these deals going down in class, in the bathroom. I've researched, what other schools are doing around the country, and I searched for news articles. There are schools that have bathroom monitors. There are schools that will only have certain bathrooms open, and you sign in and sign out, all because of vaping. And it's gotten crazy. And I know what we see at the high school is really just the tip of the iceberg. It's across our society. It's not Rock Springs. It's everywhere.
Any other questions, council? Well, I appreciate the information, and that brings us up to light a little bit more. I was a little bit confused on what that was. Go ahead.
Mayor, council members, I'm also in support of this. My name is Megan, and I work for Southwest Counseling Service, and we have been working on tobacco prevention for our county. And I didn't really know much about these vaping devices until I started doing tobacco prevention. And these lovely junior high students did an amazing job at talking about the health effects of these vaping devices. So our goal at Southwest Counseling is to prevent initiation of substance use at a young age. And so, like they were saying, using nicotine at a young age is very, very hazardous, especially for a developing brain. Our brains aren't fully developed until 25. So all of the vaping pods contain nicotine. So I know that a lot of people have said there are some that don't contain nicotine, but we really could not find any research that said that they don't contain some amount of nicotine. Another issue is that there's no long-term studies that have been done on these vaping devices. They've only been around for maybe 10 years. And if you think about how long other tobacco products have been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, we have all of those studies. We have all that data of the harmful effects of cigarettes and other tobacco products.
Okay. Danny, I would just like to answer some questions further. Initially, when they marketed it out in safer. However, research does not support that. That's where they're most of them getting it, or they have access to kids that can buy them and promoting and advertising. That's where they're getting knowing of it, touch them, prevention. But it's important to know the effects that they themselves.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Thank you. We are still on the petition section of our agenda. Is there anyone here tonight wishing to address the council on any issue whatsoever? This is your time to do so. Don, is that mic on? There you go.
Okay, I would like to address the new racetrack you want to start on the public streets. And I'm an absolute no on that. Because it'll never stop. Or if you organize it, you're going to have people. Now, me and you, see who has a car, problem. Go out there, no crowd, you got the prize. You're done. Organization, people standing around, a lot of people. It's going somewhere down the line. Either to or from getting going back home, or loser. So my vote is no on the organized street race. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Mr. Jeffrey. Anyone else wishing to address the council on any issue? This would be your time. Hearing none, I close the petition section of our agenda. We're going to move on to the officers and staff reports. Councilors, we have item number 1, the Health Insurance Fund recap for February 2019. 2, the financial report summary for February 2019. M3, the Animal Control Monthly Report for February 2019. What's your pleasure?
Your Honor.
Councilman Tate?
Move to accept and place on file.
Would we have a motion to place the officers, to approve the officers and staff reports and place on file? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show no opposed. We're going to get to the council committee and board reports. Councilors, we have the Rock Springs Historical Museum Board meeting minutes of January 9th, 2019, and special meeting minutes of February 20th, 2019. We have the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting minutes of January 10th, 2019, and we have the Main Street Board meeting minutes of February 11th, 2019. Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Wendorf.
I move to approve those reports and put on file.
Councilors, we do have a motion to approve these committee and board reports and place on file. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Wendorf.
I'd also like to remind everybody, and speaking of work restitution, if any of these kids get caught, have I got a job for them come May 18th. They can pick up trash. We're going to have citywide cleanup. It's going to be the 16th annual on, again, Saturday, May 18th. All the supplies will be down at the Chamber of Commerce in the afternoon of May 1st. We will provide water and gloves, and you can sign up then, and we appreciate everyone's help. And there will be a free lunch, 1 o'clock, on May 18th at the Young at Heart Senior Center. A lot of free prize giveaways as well.
Thank you, Councilman Wendorf. Next on our agenda, we have, councilors, the bills and claims. Item number 1, the bills and claims for March 19th, 2019. What's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Wendorf.
I move to approve the bills and claims for March 19th, 2019.
We have a motion to approve the bills and claims for March 19th, 2019. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor say aye.
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 Are there any opposed?
Abstained.
Let the record show. Item number 2, the salaries for March 7th, 2019.
Your Honor, I move to approve the salaries for March 7th, 2019.
Councilors, we have a motion to approve the salaries for March 7th, 2019. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Let the record show no opposed. It's going to bring us to our new business items, councilors. Item number 1, the request for approval of an application for a new restaurant liquor license from Joshua Grant, doing business as Eves, located at the White Mountain Golf Course Clubhouse, 1501 Clubhouse Drive, Rock Springs. What's your pleasure? Councilman Shalata? We have a motion to approve this request. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show no opposed. Item number 2, the request from the Sweetwater Amateur Radio Club for the use of the parking lot north of South Main Street and west of the Rock Springs coal sign from June 21st through the 23rd, 2019 for their annual field days exercise. Councilors, what's your pleasure? Councilman Shalata? Or I'm sorry, Alter?
As a fellow hand approver, I move to approve this request.
We have a motion to approve this request. Is there a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Is there anyone from that group here tonight? They don't come to the meeting, they just call each other. Well, I would like to say this would be contingent on notification of some of the local businesses down there. This parking lot is the one that several of the employees park in, so we'll make contact with the person involved there and see if they could locate the nearby businesses and let them know this is going to take place. With that, item number 3, the request from BlackRock Incorporated for a liquor catering permit for the Scott Gordon benefit on April 13th, 2019 from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the Rock Springs Civic Center. Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman West?
approve this request.
I have a motion to approve this request. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? The record show no opposed. And we have the item number 4, the request from the Rocket City Racing for permission to hold 3 street legal drag racing events during the summer months on Stagecoach Boulevard. Mr. Beckwith.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. Normally, I reserve opinions those times when it's asked. This particular instance, no one has asked me my feelings about this as the city attorney. Let me say that Mr. Zanetti, Brother Allen, consider this thought, and I appreciate the fact that they want to do something of this nature. However, I have very serious concerns with the city. I've had a discussion with our insurer, and this hasn't stated very clearly up to this point, but our insurer made it clear to me today that they are not going to insure. This will be an exclusion, specifically exclude this insurance policy. What essentially that means is that the city, absent some other provision, is out on a limb. So, in my view, that does create some very serious liability issues. Sure, are this particular provision not designed for this sort of purpose. Now, I'm not saying that the liability issues cannot be overcome, but what I do think is that there should be some more thought into it. I think initially, what would be a good idea, association with higher services term, see private, see what it would require in order to make sure not only that the city itself is protected such that the city would have no liability at all, talking about in particular instance of course with liability insurance that would cover them, but also cover us as additional insureds, but also spectator insurance. I don't think that I certainly appreciate the thought that's gone into how the racing venue might be set up and spectators might be separate. So I really don't put a lot of thought to how the liability issues. I'm not saying they can't be overcome or that act shouldn't take place necessarily. Association needs to private council see how they use those issues. City, spectator, perhaps for the school district, suspect our structure, so on. So, my perspective, legal perspective, I don't see the activity in place at all. Liability, some could be idea. And I have to say, I haven't been thought how those liabilities.
Councilman Zadi.
I have checked into that. There are programs out there and companies that provide insurance. I name the city as third, and that would still definitely put in place before you put in place. But there was discussed before that our policies, right? There would also need separate policy, health, personal auto policy, any amateur or whatever. But there are policy programs out there for liability, party property, per event, per day, schedule. policies for that hold this respect. Bonding. Talked to Paul about that. Fire bond. Someone damaged. Promised. Security putting up money, $5,000 for those. So that has been thought out. Something definitely in place. Like that needs to be addressed. Where the cover money put I think on the station. Money. Something. Go with that. Those are things that have been.
I don't disagree. Body probably looked at, but really solid proposal about how that might take place. So also properly crafted waivers, driver, and also some life insurance perhaps on part of the agenda driver. So I think that visit the issue again once we have some specific about precisely how what they determine. So I don't disagree. Liability issues certainly could be overcome, but I am satisfied with the city attorney.
Runner, I would then look at this, put something together that would find out what can be done. Rather than taking a vote now, get everything out there. And that's my whole thing on this is I know it's been controversial, but I'd rather everybody know all the in front of them before we see public. Right. So I would make a motion to table further review and plan. What are you looking for and what would you like in place?
Well, what I'd like to do is to review policies, potential waiver, some drafting, so that the city can ensure we're not going to lay out any money at all in some. Also, respect practice of 20 private government tell you not be imagined a number of different ways in pocket we will first to someone have to that will ensure cost us ensure some policy. I would just want to be sure that certain policies waiver.
Councilman Zadi, when you were doing the research, did you happen to see what the premiums would be, or
You know,
is there several?
For the event itself, it's hard to say. You don't have the actual. From one or and that only our personal auto policy coverage have car basic. Okay. So by liability only, affect your car racing car. So it does depend, and it is. This isn't, on my mind, it's not going to be a bunch of kids wanting to raise. There's some investment involved. Cost.
Councilman Halter.
I got a question. So, because what I would hate, they go is a
Councilor Halter. Resolution. Association. Providing for insurance of all those involved in the city. Sure. So rather than take the city satisfied. It's really
Council, in keeping with the order of business, I believe Councilman Zadi has a motion on the table first. I want to rescind that motion. We have a motion to table the request. Is there a second? That motion's going to die from lack of a second. So back to the request from the Rocket City Racing for permission to hold free street legal drag racing events during the summer months on Stagecoach Boulevard. Councilman, what's your pleasure? Councilman Halter.
Approve the request. Further parties involved.
Okay, councilors, we have a motion to approve the request pending further information concerning approval of insurance requirements. Is there a second?
If I may, Lord, I as the city attorney, pass it. Provide insurance to satisfy the city.
Councilors, we have a motion to include what the county or the city attorney has requested. Do we have a second? We have no second. We have a second. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Nay.
Councilors, if you could do a roll call, please, that would be helpful.
Councilor Halter?
Yes.
Windorf?
No.
Tate?
No.
Demus?
No.
Zadi? Shalata? Savage?
No.
West?
No.
Mayor Como?
Really doesn't matter at this point, but I'm saying this is a really good idea, and I don't want to see this die. I'm thinking what the message has been sent here from the councilors is they don't want to open the door to a race on a city street. And that being said, I would like to see if we could put together a workshop, if we could, and brainstorm some ideas, because I think you guys we're I don't want to say we're redneck, but we like our racing, we like our cars, we like our guns, we like events outside. And Alan, Tim, I would suggest that you pull the group together and see if we can get together and see if we could maybe brainstorm some other ideas on location. I would hate to see this fail completely, and I think I gave some ideas at the last meeting that I still think make good sense. We run some numbers on that. I think what we would need to do is maybe with Councilor Zadi's help, maybe see if we could partner up with the events complex and do something maybe there, somewhere else. I'm thinking what we were looking at was roughly about $250,000 to pave a quarter mile, roughly, Mr. Couch. What we're looking at. 60-foot wide, which would give you 2 travel lanes of 20 and then an additional 20 feet of return lane on one side. So there's been a lot of thought of this, and I appreciate everybody that's put their input into this, because I think all in all, we heard a lot of comments from the general public and the insurance groups, and maybe we can find an avenue that would help alleviate some of the need you would have to have for insurance and appease everybody, and even some of those people that may oppose the idea would love to participate and watch the event. So I'm saying don't let this die. I think it's a good idea, and the placing is what really needs to be worked on. So if you would, I'd be happy to help where I could, but bring me your ideas and we can work with Councilor Zadi. I believe this is where this originally came from its inception, and see if we can make contact with the events complex and brainstorm some ideas and see what we can do. I even had one contractor that approached me and was willing to donate time and maybe some materials to get this done, and I think it just makes really good sense. With all the discussion that we heard with new schools being built and city streets and utilities and infrastructure and kids running around and everything else, why don't we go more in a positive direction and see if we can find a place that we can call home and just do it whenever we want to do it. That's my suggestion. So,
Your Honor, like
Councilman Zadi?
too, I have talked with Larry at the complex, kind of, and we're talking to the stretch of road with rodeo parking right now. That's something we conversation forward and look towards. I don't know that it could ever be more than just a trip for racing. Given, you're looking at lights and stands like that, there's more than right now. We have a lot of room out there, space, but there are general conversation that stretch by the Philly. I don't know that it'd be much more than a strip of road, but it would do a location. Something.
Correct.
Something. And I think that was the intent. See what the interest is, and have a shot. Go with the building. Look great somewhere. But I have talked to Larry a little. Something. Starting.
But I appreciate the idea, the interest. This is how this all starts, as you well know, the process, and I appreciate you sticking in there and willing to do the work and the legwork to get this moving and offer an event for the community. I think it's a good idea, and I'll be there to help wherever we can, and hopefully we can find a home for this event, and it makes sense to the entire community. Councilor Savage.
Mr. Zane, we had a nice conversation the other day, and for one, I'm really looking forward to lawnmower races. And
On
also,
city streets, or are you going to start something?
No. And then what about? Have you guys ever thought about like a rock crawl? I know it's a different set of. Got that awesome. Have you ever thought about a rock? Recently?
Paul?
My intention was this, that we can make this happen, that we could make this happen along with many other things. I mean, there is rock crawling, there's sand drags. We used to have the sand drags. There's so much. There's so many people. I think I told you on the phone, there's some guy building a lawnmower right now that he wants to go race. And then I spoke to Kent Perena, and he's like, he knows 4 of those guys. So it's big. It's way bigger than just a handful of us wanting to go out and race 660 feet. It's a passion. It's a passion. I wish I could take you for a ride in my car one time. It's something that, yeah. There's a lot of thought. There's a lot of room for growth if we can make something happen. And that's truly, truly what I would like to see, and that's what the intentions are.
Well, hold that thought on the lawnmower thing, because sooner than later, Parks is going to be looking for some seasonal help to mow grass. And if you can bring your own equipment, we can get this stuff done in a fraction of the time that we normally would.
I think we have a lot of support inside the community. I mean, there's been, I turned you guys over, 1,300 signatures. I got people still come to my counter wanting to sign the petition, which really we don't need those signatures anymore, I don't think. I think we're past that. I mean, I think we're where we need to be. But out of all those people, I tell you, I probably talked to 800 of those people one-on-one. Most of them don't want to go out there and race. Most of them just want to see it. And with all those people, so many of those people who have stepped forward and then they leave me their names and they've left me cards and they're like, I want to help. I want to help. In many ways, I've got a list of names, a stack of cards like that of people who actually want to see and help make this happen. So I think not only am I asking for city, county support, it just makes it, if we all work together, we can make it happen. And that'd be great. I thank you very much. I thank you for letting one little guy in Rock Springs stand before you guys. It's awesome. God bless America. And God bless Rock Springs, Wyoming. It's awesome. It's great.
Appreciate it. Okay, Councilor Zadi, if you can get something set up, I'd be more than happy. I mean, with the events complex?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, better you than me.
Your Honor.
Your
Honor. Have
maybe. No, city streets. I think we had 6-3, 7-2. Yeah. So with that, councilors, from the Housing Authority under resolutions, we have Resolution 2019-29, a resolution accepting and approving the Rock Springs Housing Authority's Public Housing Annual Plan for fiscal year 2020. And April, thank you for the information everybody got. So, Councilman, what's your pleasure? Councilman Halter? Oh,
I think Matt.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's get back on track. We're pushing towards 11 o'clock again. On that, the resolution.
a resolution accepting and approving Public Housing Authority PHA plans and authorizing Timothy A. Como, acting in his capacity as chairman of the Rock Springs Housing Board, to execute certification of compliance with the PHA.
Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor.
Councilman Tate?
Move to approve that resolution 2019.
We have a motion to approve 2019-29. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Councilor Wendorf?
Yes.
Tate?
Yes.
Demus?
Yes.
Dottie?
Yes.
Pilata?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Halter? Mayor Como?
Yes. And item number 2 from the Housing Authority, Resolution 2019-30.
A resolution authorizing Timothy A. Como, mayor, acting in his capacity as chairman of the Rock Springs Housing Board, to approve revised admissions and continued occupancy policies for the Rock Springs Housing Authority's public housing.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Savage.
I move to approve Resolution 2019-30.
We have a motion to approve 2019-30. Do we have a second?
Second?
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Tate?
Yes.
Demus?
Yes.
Dottie?
Yes.
Shalata?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Halter? Windorf?
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 3, Resolution 2019-31.
A resolution accepting and approving a utility cart rental agreement between Eves and the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and authorizing Timothy A. Como as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs to execute said agreement on behalf of the city.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Zadi?
to approve Resolution.
We have a motion to approve 2019-31. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Demus?
Yes.
Dottie?
Yes.
Shalata?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Halter? Windorf?
Yes.
Tate?
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 4, Resolution 2019-32.
A resolution granting an exclusive water line easement to Stagecoach LLC and authorizing Timothy A. Como, mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said exclusive water line easement on behalf of said city.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Tate?
move to 2019.
We have a motion to approve 2019-32. Is there a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call on the resolution.
Counselor Zadi?
Yes.
Shalata?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Halter? Windorf?
Yes.
Tate?
Yes.
Demus?
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Abstain. Item number 5, Resolution 2019-33.
A resolution accepting and approving a dedication agreement from Stagecoach LLC, a Wyoming limited liability company, and authorizing Timothy A. Como as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs to execute said agreement on behalf of the city.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman Windorf.
I move to approve Resolution 2019-33.
Counselors, we have a motion to approve 2019-33. Is there a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Shalata?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Halter? Windorf?
Yes.
Tate?
Yes.
Demus?
Yes.
Dottie? Mayor Como.
Abstain. Item number 6, Resolution 2019-34.
A resolution accepting and approving an Augusto Services and License Agreement with Augusto Inc., a Minnesota corporation, authorizing Timothy A. Como as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said agreement on behalf of said city.
Counselors, what's your pleasure? Councilman Halter. We have a motion to approve 2019-34. Is there a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Savage?
Yes.
West?
Yes.
Halter? Windorf?
Yes.
Tate?
Yes.
Demus?
Yes.
Dottie?
Yes.
Shalata?
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 7, Resolution 2019-35.
A resolution accepting and approving a memorandum of understanding between the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, the United States Department of Interior, Bureau of Land Management, and authorizing Timothy A. Como as mayor of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, Matthew L. McBurnett as city clerk of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said memorandum of understanding on behalf of said city.
Counselors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman Savage.
I move to approve Resolution 2019-35, BLM.
Counselors, we have a motion to approve 2019-35. Do we have a second? Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor West?
Yes.
Halter? Windorf?
Yes.
Tate?
Yes.
Demus?
Yes.
Dottie? Shalata?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes, councilors, with that approval of resolution 2019-35, if you have your copies or electronic copy, and turn to page 4 of the MOU, it is the requirement of the city of Rock Springs to appoint a representative and an alternate to serve on this committee, which I think is a great idea. That being said, I don't have an alternate, but I do have a representative speaking with Cindy Sheehan in our planning department, who's very interested and familiar with this. I would submit, Mr. President, the name of Cindy Sheehan to serve as our representative to participate with the working group at the BLM on our behalf.
Council, you have before you the name of Cindy Sheehan to be our representative for the Rock Springs Resource Management Plan.
Counselor, may I? I think that it would probably be best to ask the done that first, because you may get your appointment and the resolution.
Till we get past
okay,
that.
I apologize.
Yeah. I was waiting in case it failed. I wasn't appointed. So I think we're good there. So, Mr. President.
Move. Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilor Halter, Windorf,
Yes.
Tate. Yes. Demus,
Yes.
Dottie, Salada, Savage,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes, and with that, Kristen, we'll get together. We will have to forward that name to the BLM for the working group. Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council. That'll bring us to resolution 2019-36.
A resolution accepting and approving a change order with Mandros Painting Inc. and authorizing Timothy A. Como as mayor of the city of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said change order on behalf of said city.
Councilors, what's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman West,
Resolution 2019-36.
do we have a motion to approve 2019-36? Do we have a second? Second. And called, roll call.
Councilor Windorf,
Yes.
Tate. Yes. Demus,
Yes.
Dottie, Salada,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Halter, Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 9, resolution 2019-37.
A resolution accepting and approving a fireworks production contract with Fireworks West International, Inc., authorizing Timothy A. Como as mayor of the city of Rock Springs, Wyoming, and Matthew L. McBrennan, city clerk of the city of Rock Springs, Wyoming, to execute said contract on behalf of the city.
Councilors, what's your pleasure? Councilman Halter.
Budget, 20,000. This require budget.
Your Honor.
That I
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Councilor Tate.
Yes.
Demus,
Yes.
Dottie, Salada,
Yes.
Savage,
Yes.
West,
Yes.
Halter, Windorf,
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 10, resolution 2019-38. Councilors, I would entertain a motion to table this resolution.
So.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Let the record show no opposed. Item number 11, resolution 2019-39. Council, I'd entertain a motion to table this resolution. We have a motion to table. Is there a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? This is going to move us on to the confusing and never-ending ordinance section of our agenda. Councilors, ordinance 2019-04, which was tabled on third reading last meeting. What's your pleasure?
An ordinance amending Article 1-6, Section 1604C of the ordinance of the City of Rock Springs entitled Adopting the Personnel Policies and Procedures Relating to City of Rock Springs Employees and Adopting Revised Personnel Policies.
I'm sorry, councilors, what's your pleasure? Councilman Shalata. We have a motion to remove 2019-04 from the table. Is there a second?
Second?
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Demas,
Yes.
Dottie.
Yes.
Shalata.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Halter. Windorf.
Yes.
Tate. Mayor Como.
Yes. With that, councilors, 2019-04. We
And then we
voted,
tabled.
right, we voted on the amendment.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. We voted on the amendment to the resolution, or to the ordinance.
So now right.
We're voting on the whole kit and caboodle.
Your Honor,
At this point, Councilman Savage.
I move to approve Ord 2019-4.
As amended. Councilors, we have a motion to approve 2019-04 with the amended language attached, including the 90 days.
Second.
There's been a second call, roll call.
Counselor Zadi. Shalata.
No.
Savage.
Yes.
West.
No.
Halter.
Yes.
Windorf.
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Demas.
No.
Mayor Como.
No. I believe we're 5-4 on what? Okay. That includes the 90-day language.
Yes.
What you want? I don't want to get into it. It's done. Okay. All right. With that, ordinance 2019-05.
An ordinance amending Article 7-1 titled Building Code of the Ordinances of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Councilors, third reading. What's your pleasure? Councilman Shalata?
Approve ordinance.
We have a motion to approve 2019-05. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. Roll call.
Counselor Shalata.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Halter. Windorf.
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Demas.
Yes.
Dottie. Mayor Como.
Yes. Item number 3, resolution or ordinance 2019-06, third reading.
An ordinance amending Article 7-4 entitled Plumbing and Sewer Code of the Ordinances of the City of Rock Springs, Wyoming.
Councilors, third reading. What's your pleasure?
Your Honor,
Councilman West?
move to approve ordinance 2019-6.
We do have a motion to approve ordinance 2019-06. Is there a second?
Second.
Second's been called. Roll call.
Counselor Savage.
Yes.
West.
Yes.
Halter. Windorf.
Yes.
Tate.
Yes.
Demas.
Yes.
Dottie. Shalata.
Yes.
Mayor Como.
Yes. And item number 4, ordinance 2019-07, second reading.
An ordinance amending Article 3-2 of the ordinances of the City of Rock Springs titled Offenses Concerning Public Morals and Decencies.
Item number 5, 2019-08, first reading.
An ordinance amending Article 3.5 of the ordinances of the City of Rock Springs entitled Humane Control and Regulation of Animals.
Hey, council, yeah, Council Gotti. Understood. First reading, or first and second reading, or first and second, third reading? That's probably a good idea. Ordinance 2019-07, by the way, is what we heard for those at home from those during the petition section is the prohibition and sale, gift, and use of possession of electronic cigarettes to minors. So the vaping ordinance is basically what that was involving, and adding additional fines for the offenses of. 2019-08 on first reading, the humane control and regulation of animals with regard to abandoning. We basically set penalties now for those individuals who will be convicted of abandoning animals. And Rick, I don't know if I'm going to go into detail more than that, but
Your Honor.
Councilman, Mr. Matt.
I can read the whereases on the ordinances. Like,
That might be
I
helpful.
think they're fairly
I
well
think
written.
thing that would help. I mean, I have the question
It's
before.
probably a
and
good idea.
it pops up every once in a while, but
Why don't you give us the whereas on 2019-08, and we'll begin that.
Whereas the governing body of the City of Rock Springs recognizes that willful abandonment of pets by their owners is cruel and inhumane, and whereas abandoning an animal often leads to a harsh life and early death for the animal, and whereas the governing body of Rock Springs finds that abandoning an animal should be charged as a criminal offense punishable by fine and jail.
Okay, that's helpful.
And
All
Your
right.
Honor,
Councilman Windorf.
I want to thank our city attorney because after our last meeting 2 weeks ago, I was approached by our animal control officers who brought this to my attention. We had no ordinance on the books, and so the next brought it up, and here it is 2 weeks later, so thank you.
Certainly.
Yes.
Welcome, Counselor.
With that, council, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn into an executive session to discuss litigation and personnel issues. We do have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second's been called. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? We will adjourn